So another simple one is if you've got someone who sits a little bit side on, you've got one or two fighters who sit side on, aim at their shoulder, aim at their bicep. Boxing, I always find, is a very strange thing. If you aim at a person's chin and you hit them on the shoulder, you find that you don't do any damage. But if you aim for the shoulder, the bicep, and you keep hitting that thing round after round of that, and we're talking, in this case, it would be a longer fight, so more than 3 rounds, you're going to find that these guys can't lift their arm. They feel a bit bruised, they get bruised on the shoulder, it's a bit more fatigued later in the fight. So for those longer fights, aim at the shoulder, aim at the bicep, literally. If they're side on, and I hate to say it, sometimes you've got the Floyd Mayweather type style, you can aim at that shoulder. Are you going to knock them out with these punches? Not necessarily, but at least you're occupying them, you're keeping them once again in that defensive posture where they get hit, they get knocked back, they don't manage to start their attack. Yes, it's frustrating, you can't get them on the chin, but hey, occupy them at least. They're going to have to start doing something, okay? So if you're finding them a little bit awkward, aim for that shoulder. Keep aiming there. So, what do you mean you've got an opponent who is your side-to-side fighter, zipping side to side, side to side, and you can't catch them? When you throw your jab up here, they've zipped over to this side. When you throw your jab up there, they've zipped over to this side. So they're zipping over, zipping over, zipping over. If you look very closely, what about the centre here? What about here? They're zipping over from side to side. It's too wide a distance, but lower down here, it's a smaller target. So if you really need to aim down at the chest or the shoulders, so if they're zipping side to side, aim lower down, aim at the chest, aim at the arm. Yes, it may stop them. So every time they come over, you knock them that way. Every time they come over this side, you knock them that way. So they've zipped over, you knock them back that way. They've zipped over, you knock them back that way. Don't be frustrated that you can't get them on the head. Right? Aim where you can, hit where you can. Make openings. So they're going zigging and zagging either side. Aim a little bit lower. Hopefully you'll at least catch them. You'll set something up. Maybe they'll get frustrated. Maybe they'll step out and open up and you catch them coming in. What I would say on this particular punch as well though, if you're the one throwing this punch, is while they're zigging and zagging sideways, obviously, when you're aiming at the head, you couldn't quite catch them, so you've aimed a little bit lower. Still, pull your hand back to your chin. Don't pull it down here. So they're zigging, you may not be catching them while they're zigging and zagging that way. Go a bit lower, but still pull your hand back to your chin. So here's another one for you, and it's really throwing the jab as the last punch in a big combination. And the reason you do that is sometimes, regardless of whether you hit them on the chin with that last punch, if you hit them hard enough, you can sometimes stop their counter punch. And what I mean by that is, you're throwing so I'm the opponent, you're throwing whatever combinations at me, and I'm blocking, maybe I've been hit, and you finish, and I go to start my counter punch, you hit me with a jab, just to knock me back, that stops my counter punch. You're throwing everything you're throwing, I'm doing my defensive posture, I go out to do it, you hit me with a jab, knocks me back. I've got to start again. So just ending on the jab, not ending to hit them on the chin. Yes, it'd be nice to hit everybody on the chin with everything, but it doesn't always work that way. But as a defensive posture, I've seen the likes of Bernard Hopkins does a very good version of this, where he literally knocks the person backwards. So literally after your combination, you're zigging, you're zagging, you go, they're coming on for their counter punch, you knock them back. You've thrown everything, they're blocking, they come forward, you hit them back with a jab. So ending your combination on the jab. So with that last one in mind, what I would say is it's literally you, and we'll say we're throwing a 4-punch combination of some sort here. So it may be 1, 2, 3, 4, and on that last shot, jab backwards. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, jab backwards. That last jab will take you out of range and you knock them backwards as well. I'll try it a slightly different way. So 1, 2, uppercut, rear hand, jab, and get out. That last jab, I'm not looking for it to land, I'm looking to just knock them back slightly. So the last one, and I think this is so underused, is using the jab and the inside work. So when you're up close and you're fighting and you can't see the target. So if you can imagine, I'm the opponent here, I'm right up close to you here. You can see my hands here, and we're up close, we're fighting closely. And then I'm blocking your punches to the body, but if you notice my chin is here. So if you as the opponent could see my hands, why don't you just aim at my face? You know, I'm here, up close, you jolt my head back. We're up close, I'm blocking your body shots. I think I can see everything. Headshot. If I've left an open up the middle, jab to the head, knock my head back. So when you're the person boxing, and I'll do it from your point of view, we're up close, we're up close. I'm trying to get in close here, I'm hooking, I'm uppercutting, but what they're not looking for is that. They're not looking for this. It's up close, and then bang, bang, when you see the opening. And remember with this particular one, you may not even be able to see their head, but if you can see their gloves, you know they're not blocking their head. And the best example of this I'm going to come up with is this. I'm going to come closer as the opponent. So if you look very closely at me, if you can see my gloves, but you can't see my head, it means my gloves are not actually on my head, are they? So there's a target up there. So if I feel like I'm blocking everything down here because I'm a tall opponent and you're the shorter opponent, aim, throw a jab at my head. If you go for a hook, I can see it. But sometimes I'm not looking for the one up the middle. So just remember, guys, it's an underused punch on the inside. Are you going to knock your opponent out with it? No, but you're going to knock their head back, which looks good for the judges. When you knock opponent's head back, they look distressed. So please work on that punch on the inside. It really does work. So hopefully that's given you enough to go on. Like I say, there are so many different types of jab. I've covered a few in this particular video. Feel free to put some comments at the bottom and make other suggestions. Once again, I've said before, there's an infinite amount of knowledge. I'm not going to claim to know everything. I have learned so many things from other coaches in other clubs and from when I boxed myself, from even watching the big name fighters, and like I said before, the Emmanuel Stewarts, the Eddie Futches, even on video, to some of our UK trainers. There's an infinite amount of knowledge. So I hope that's given you enough to start with. I am going to do some workshops on hooks and uppercuts and some defensive workshops. So please stick with me. Obviously this is being filmed during lockdown. Future videos we will be in the boxing gym. So please stick with me. I'm Jason from Empower PT. Thanks for watching.